electoral
Absolutely.
organizing. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. We're here with Representative Ed Perlmutter this morning, and what's your congressional district?
Seven. So the suburbs of Denver, western, northern suburbs of Denver.
Great, very good. It's where our CERC office is located. I think you actually represent us there. And so Governor and Representative are saying their hellos and goodbyes at the same time. So we are, out today with thousands of Coloradans, basically
thousands of
Coloradans, showing our support for immigrant and refugees, and really showing the ways that a lot of our immigrant communities continue to be under attack by this administration, and the intent to really find all the ways that they can attack immigrants from refugee communities by, halting the refugee resettlement program, profiling Muslim American Muslim countries where folks cannot come and be reunited with their family. So it's important for us to draw the connection at today's event on all of those elements. You've been to the border.
Every day it's a different outrage. Every day they find something else that keeps going lower and lower in terms of morality.
Yeah.
I mean, we, for a long time, thought we were going to get some comprehensive immigration reform finished. The Senate passed it 4 years ago. Paul Ryan and the Republicans in the House refused to take it up. Then they said, we'll deal with the dreamers only. Let's get the dreamers. They only know America as their home. They speak English, want to be good citizens. And we thought, okay, we could get that. Now we don't talk about that. We talk about, ripping kids out of their mother's arms. And so each time it gets to a lower point, and this has got to stop.
It absolutely does have to stop. What are the ways that we as community members and as voters can actually withhold more budget for boots on the ground, for further separation of our families, both along the border and in the interior of the country? Are there ways that Congress can actually slow down the deportation mechanisms that Trump has in place that we know are coming?
Yes, but I think everybody has to remember who the majority party is, and they pretty much drive the agenda. So Republicans in the House and the Republicans in the Senate, but there certainly are ways if we could get all the members of Congress to be on the same page. But like I said, we can't even get a bill brought up that really helps dreamers.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, this is about elections and about the future. And, in Colorado, Coloradans have really stood up strong for so many things,
yeah.
Whether it's women's rights or immigrants or just the rule of law. And our state's going in a pretty good direction, and we got to be thankful for that.
We are.
But we have a lot of work to get this country going in the right direction.
Thank you, Congressman. Now, what about the families, the resolution of getting those families reunited and the 20,000 beds that were asked for by the Pentagon to house people on U.S. military bases? How can we push back against that as communities so that we're not filling 20,000 beds in military encampments?
On military bases, on
Yes.
encampments, on concentration centers. That's
Yes.
what they are.
Yes.
We have to have rallies like this. We cannot be silent. You have to, use the right to vote, to speak up at the polls, talk to members of Congress like myself or governors like you just did, and say, hey, this isn't right. We can't allow this to happen. So, they've asked for 20,000 beds down at different bases in Texas. I don't know that they're going to get the money to do it. We need to be bringing these kids together with their parents. We need to be voting on dreamers and let them do the dreaming and find the opportunities that our nation has for them. And it just takes a lot of work every day. And, it gets tiring, but it's well worth it. We got to do it.
Absolutely. What would you say to politicians who are going to run on an anti-immigrant platform and follow suit of the federal attitude right now toward immigrants and refugees? Do you think that your average voter would go along with those kind of sentiments given the environment that we're in right now, where so many of the general public, like these folks are first time coming to our movement and to, protesting in the streets with us? What would you say to the opponents that are going to run on the anti-immigrant platform?
Well, I would say that most people agree with you, agree with the sentiments that are being expressed here today about keeping families together. It's that basic,
Yeah.
and most people agree with that. But there are some that don't, that, either have their own biases, their own, ridiculous prejudices. But most people want to keep families together. Most people like a strong, united country and not this divide and conquer that we see come from Trump. So most of those candidates that run on an anti-immigrant platform about divide families and put them in cages and that kind of stuff, they're going to lose.
They're going to lose because we're better than that. And I think the folks on the ground that have been doing excellent work of getting out the vote will be at doors, will be holding forums, will be uniting the vote this summer and into the fall. And I think that we have this incredible opportunity to develop deeper partnerships to find out how we as Coloradans can make sure that if families do end up in Colorado, that our communities will build response to support those families and to push back against further separation, both even at the border and within the interior of the country.
But I wanted to say your organization is there every day, worried about this stuff every day, working on it every day. That's what it takes. That's what it's going to take. And you're right. We are better than that. And that's why so many people showed up today, because we are better than that. And it's really so surreal that we keep having these different outrageous things come from this administration, but it keeps bringing out more and more people who say, stop it already. That's not what America is.
That's right. It's time to unite the vote, folks. It's time to do as much as we can to protect immigrant families, to protect our rights, to be able to build an America that we can be proud of in the world and in our own country. Thank you, Representative Perlmutter, for coming out today.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a picture.
Yes, let's do a picture.